Так, ну что, ребят, начнем прохождение The Outer Worlds. Что там получится, не знаю.
Why stay earthbound when prosperity awaits you in the stars? Come to Halcyon, the only colony on the edge of the frontier, owned and operated by corporations. A trip of 10 short years will feel like mere minutes, thanks to the comfort and safety of your very own hibernation chamber. You'll wake up in a perfect society designed to maximize your productivity with guaranteed full employment. With only a minor term of service, you will become the master of your own destiny when you go out of this world to the Halcyon colony.
Hundreds of thousands of colonists left to drift out here forever, just to keep from damaging the board's bottom line. Disgraceful.
Yes, you look like you can take a beating. But are your wits as quick as your fingers?
Ага.
It says here that you solved mathematical problems just for fun. If we're ever captured, I'll let you do the talking. I hope we haven't lost that silver tongue to frostbite. You certainly know your way around a MacPick. Class A? Oh, right. Test subject.
Jordan C. Live. Live. Стиль бровей. Быть таким. Какие классические шрамы.
Looks to be your lucky day, my friend.
Please power down your engines and prepare to be...
Not likely, bootlickers. Initiate skip jump.
Тира-2. Орбитальная лаборатория Халикон.
Status. Structural integrity down 25%. Power levels down to 90%. Skip drive.
Shit.
Inoperable.
Ah, there you are. Wondering what's going on, eh? Bit of bad news there, I'm afraid. Your colony ship was inexplicably knocked out of skip space and forced to complete its journey at sublight speeds. This means that you and every other colonist on the Hope have been in suspended animation for 70 years, give or take. Normally, reviving someone after so long leads to some quite horrifying results. It's called explosive cell death, but it's really more of a liquefaction. Something wrong? Oh, yes, well, not to worry. I've pumped your body full of a special concoction I devised to keep you from dying so horrifically. Hopefully at all, but I guess we'll see, yes? Unfortunately, I used the last of my chemical supplies saving you. I know it's a lot to ask, but I must have your help securing more if we're to save the rest of your fellow colonists. I'd see it done myself, of course, but the board has a sizable bounty on my head. Now, my ship is inoperative, but I've managed to hire a smuggler to help you out. He'll be... Oh, I see we're in position. Good luck! Can you hear me? Is this thing working? Ah, there you are. Now, where were we? Oh, yes, the smuggler.
Который должен ждать на посадочной площадке.
He's to be your chauffeur, so to speak. Not to worry, I'm told he's a specialist. Dashing gunslinger, one-of-a-kind ship, that sort of thing. You'll like him, I'm sure. I've also outfitted you with a simple wireless monitor, so I can track your progress. I'll check in with you as soon as you land. Good luck. All the colonists are counting on you.
Should be close by. What in law's name? Is that him? Oh, that idiot. I told him to plant the beacon and move away, not stand there holding it. Oh well, no sense in letting his ship go to waste. Hawthorne won't mind you taking his ship.
Так.
Better you than the board, huh? Not sure I trusted the fellow. Might have gone after the bounty on my head. Shame about the whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go.
Это можно попробовать по максимуму. Это что за покемон? Шпрыса. Так, кстати. Его можно включить камеру.
Now, you've been frozen for a while. There's bound to be unforeseen side effects.
Побочные эффекты какие?
Hey, you, come here. You've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh,
Что
wow, that stinks.
Так, что с тобой случилось?
We were out on patrol. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Thought I could take him. Then my gun misfired. Right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? Just barely scraped by with my
Оружие
life.
случайно выстрелило в
Crawled in here and
бочину.
blocked off the exit with those canisters.
Что за мародеры?
Gibbering, flesh-eating,
Безумно
law-breaking,
невменяемые
unemployed
безработные
lunatics
преступники-каннибалы.
with guns.
Да еще и с
Some
пушками.
hole had
Какой-то дурень
crowded their
посреди
spacecraft
космического
out in the
корабля.
open. That's a
Снял
real good
корабль
way to
прямо
attract
посреди пустоши.
marauders.
Отличная
See
приманка.
those
Видишь
canisters by the
канистры
entrance?
выхода? Если сюда
Marauders
просятся
come
мародеры,
sniffing around in here.
я всех одним
I can
выстрелом
take them all
грохну.
out with a
Неплохо.
single shot. Not bad, huh?
Мгм.
Yeah, okay. You look like you know your way around a gun. Got some spare ammo, not counting the bullet in my side. All Spacer's choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Yes, nailed it that time. You hit your head or something? You're in Emerald Vale. We're a Spacer's Choice community. Edgewater's a little ways down. Prettiest place in the Vale. Be sure to stop by a provisioner's for a can of our famous salt tuna. The Hope? Is that some sort of fancy new drug? Are you with Auntie Cleo or something? Don't take this the wrong way or nothing, but I'm not allowed to fraternize with Cleo workers. Company policy. It's not the best choice, it's Spacer's choice.
Oh, what just happened? Can you hear me? What in the hell? This...
Тактическое замедление времени. Приветствую, Андрей. Ну так я ж это прошел, как бы выбрал этих Ульфрика и все. Ну там остались какие-то мелкие очень побочки, повторяющиеся. Поэтому я думаю, и надо завершить. Ну, я пока в ближайшее время не собираюсь. И у меня еще Fallout 4. Вот автор. Doom да пройду на неделе. А, да, Outer Worlds на выходных буду играть. И Fallout хочу 4. Так что пока мне... Да вообще надо к сталкеру немножко вернуться. М. А, ну я понял. Начну проходить Skyrim без модов, а потом хопа. Угу. Хорошо. У него же тоже был пистолет. Куда оружие-то девается? О, это другая его рука.
What in the blazes? Where'd you come from? Don't know where you came from, stranger, but you best
Ну
keep your head
откуда
down.
наконец?
There's
Это
marauders
все
hereabouts.
типа
The worst
тише, тут
landing
неподалеку
violators.
мародеры хуже того.
Go on, that rung leech. Landing in the Vale without using an official Spacer's Choice landing pad. I'd slap him with a fine if it weren't for all these marauders shambling about. Really? How is he? Well, that's a relief. You don't want to know how much paperwork's involved in paying off a gravesite fee. We'll see him back to Edgewater, just as soon as I cross these marauders off with the swift, cost-efficient fury that's made Spacer's Choice the most trusted brand in
19-го
personal
года.
defense. I just,
Короче, типа
you know,
Fallout в космосе
need a couple
можно
of winks to
назвать.
catch my breath. Stretch my legs, son. Well, sometimes. Management's real good at cost-benefit analysis. But, seeing as I'm the acting manager in this situation, you know what? You're right. It's time we cross those marauders off, find whoever owns that ship, and file a full report. And it's gonna be fucking laminated.
Here we go.
Неплохо, так.
This is gonna take a lot of paperwork.
Давайте посмотрим, что тут. Первобытный. Жить. Лопата. Не знаю.
Marauders, deserters, illegal landing. What is this colony coming to?
Please be informed that this vessel contains no valuable plunder. Intruders are not authorized to access the unreliable... Marauder, please be informed that ignoring me is dangerous for your health.
Обрез. Сбольная клюшка. Сейчас пошаримся у них тут на кораблике. Что найдем?
All doors are on security lockdown. Nice try, Marauder. Marauder, please be informed the ship has no crew for you to murder. Smile for my surveillance device, Marauder. I am tracking your every move. Marauder, please be informed that the engine room contains nothing of value.
Регулятор мощности. Тут у нас что?
Please be advised that using the respecified... Vacation machine will not make you a better person.
Ну, наверное. Чего, как говорится, не знаю, того не знаю. Нет никакой модификации, ну ладно.
Unauthorized access of spacefaring vessels is a crime. Please submit yourself to the authorities.
Магия огня. Ну, в принципе, логично же.
Back away from the navigation Hello, Marauder. I am Ada, the autonomous digital astrogator of this vessel. Please be informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against unwanted solicitors. Please return any misappropriated equipment and exit this vessel in an orderly fashion. Failure to do so will result in your immediate destruction.
Да ладно.
Gesture procedures initiated. Disengaging airlocks. Prepare to eject all boarded parties in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed to express
Хотела
disappointment.
ввести в заблуждение.
This vessel is the registered property of Captain Alex Hawthorne. I am incapable of accepting orders from anyone other than Captain Alex Hawthorne.
Жалко, не русифицировано.
I deduce from the tone of your voice that Captain Hawthorne failed to meet you at the designated location. I understand. I will require some time to process this information. Thank you for your patience and for your honesty. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. If I accept your orders, then you must be Captain Hawthorne. Do you understand? Well done, Captain Hawthorne. I see your powers of deductive reasoning remain intact. Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. Our main drive suffered a critical power failure, and we were forced to make an emergency landing. The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be replaced. Astutely observed. However, the probability of locating a power
30
regulator
очков
within a
опыта.
worker settlement falls within acceptable parameters of certainty. High-capacity power regulators are sometimes employed in the electrical networks of worker settlements. I have taken the liberty of printing you a new captain's
Удостоверение
identity
капитана.
cartridge. Please try not to lose it this time. This cartridge identifies you, Alex Hawthorne, as the registered proprietor and captain of the Unreliable. Do you understand? Best of luck in your search for a power regulator. Try to stay alive this time.
Ну, прям как это аж это вдохновение появляется, какой уровень повышается. Способность. Скорость ходьбы, скорость бега. Так, значит на выход. Искать там для кораблика.
Say, this wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it? Because you sure walked in it like it was your ship. And if this ship is yours, well, mister, you owe Spacer's Choice a hefty fine. Afraid we gotta dock your pay. I'll waive your fee since you helped us with those marauders. If you're looking for work, talk to the constable down in Edgewater. She's got a bounty on marauders. Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the road east of here, over past the cemetery. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to inspect the crime scene before I make my report. This is gonna take a lot of paperwork.
Not just anyone is chosen to enforce landing regulations, you know?
Делов-то.
Fill out 4 whole forms.
Кентам, конечно, снова сквозь. Дальше можно вдогонку, но круто захватить все равно наш. Хорошо. Ну, Андрей, это явно не в ближайшее время. Ну, штурмовая винтовка. Ну, я понял, я же сказал еще тогда. Какие-то зверюшки. Какой-то раздолбанный кораблик. Походу. Общение. Ассоциация гробовщиков. Запухрен. 12 тев. Что-то спер. Я скрыть не могу. Что-то про пенсию. Ну. Терминатор машина. Вроде меня никто и не видел. Камер нет. А, это туалет. Так.
Another day at the cannery.
Don't go knocking your work. At least we've got work. Hey.
Staying long?
Закрыт. Цирюльня.
Please don't touch anything. Your hands are probably crawling with germs. Physical hygiene recapitulates moral hygiene. Cleanliness is next to lawfulness.
Какой ответ? Я ни на что не отвечал.
So everyone says, until someone forgets to cough into their elbow, and then we're all dying of plague. I'm Conrad. You will report to me if your hair fails to meet Spacer's Choice aesthetic standards. You will also report to me in the event of your death, whereupon I will clean and prepare your remains for interment. A ship? Dear me. You seem to have lost the ability to distinguish between reality and fantasy. This is what happens when you let your imagination run wild. I don't approve of fantasizing. It's a
Когда люди
dreadful
фантазируют,
habit,
это
corrosive
ужасная
to the mental
птичка, ведущая
faculties.
к разложению
You
разума.
ought to let the vicar take a look inside your head. Vicar Maximilian, our man from the OSI, here to spread the message of scientism like a soothing balm upon a feverish head. Or so you'd expect. You'll find him in our local church, probably neglecting his duties. He doesn't seem to like us much. The vicar has not been with us long, and in his relatively short tenure in Edgewater, gives off the distinct whiff of superiority. Go ahead. Edgewater has been good to me. I consider myself privileged to work here. I am never wanting for work, not since the plague started. The plague's come at us with a vengeance this year. Lost 6 workers in as many months. I wouldn't call them good workers, mind you. If they were any good, they'd have been treated. Still, It is a shame. Fever, chills, fatigue, aching, vomiting, an excess of phlegm, a tendency towards belly aching. Company policy, friend. We don't have enough medicine to treat all of us, so we treat the best among us.
Так, и кто ж это
Mr.
придумал?
Thompson's brainchild. Have you met him yet? Thoughtful-looking fellow, stares out of his office most hours.
Это револьверная пила, как будто бы.
Wish we had some better rations.
Don't let the boss catch you saying that.
Икарус. Ну, она у меня в закладках в Стиме есть. Эта игра. Так, ладно. Идем. Посмотрим, что тут еще есть. Так а ты в сталкеришь так же? Так, заглядываешь. Так, а здесь у нас... Был я тут.
Hey, you hear about Wilson?
Heard Marauders got in.
Just between us,
I don't have time for this.
Wilson deserted. Lost his nerve. Ran off in the ticket.
Ну, пойдем пока здесь.
Friend of mine died a couple weeks back. Still ain't past it.
Yes, Mr. Thompson. I'm fine, Mr. Thompson. Never been. Whoa, did Mr. Thompson send you? Well, you tell Mr. Thompson I'll be right at my post.
Передай мистеру Томпсону, что буду на посту завтра же, чуть свет, поэтому совершенно ничем не заражен.
That's old Abernathy.
Угу.
You some sort of wandering alienist? Walking into a man's own domicile, pestering him about his mental state?
Что говорили про заражение?
I could have been saying anything. Maybe I said vague. You know how words sound a mite strange when you're sick. Wait, no. Oh, damn it. Okay, listen. Maybe I am feeling a little under the weather, but I swear I'm on the mend. Please, don't tell the constable.
Дуб на поправку, только констеблю не говори.
She'll toss me in the sick house. I would have confessed before the good vicar. Get some ablutions for my spirit. Just never found my courage.
Викарию сознаться захотел.
Hey, you're hale and healthy and possibly for hire, ain't you? Do a good turn for an expiring old man.
Чем могу
There's a
помочь?
cache of anthracillin tucked away in the old community center. Powerful stuff. Stronger than what we got, anyway. I need you to break in, nab that medicine, and bring it back to me. I'll do what I can.
Давай, давай.
I tried medicating myself with adrenatime. Didn't do much for me, as far as I can tell. Anyway, I can't just buy medicine. Distribution of medicine is strictly prohibited to any workers beneath the acceptable margin of health. Company policy. More like the company won't treat me because I'm not healthy enough. You will
Наверняка
not
есть
find any
охрана.
guards within sight of
А,
that old
мародер,
place.
мародеров отставляю.
Marauders, on the other
Не
hand.
проблема.
I have it on good authority. There's a gang of them squatting there. I advise stepping softly. So you'll do it then? You oblige me with your haste. I think I feel the plague spreading. Oh, law, it's in my spleen now. I can feel it. Just keep your head down when you're in there. Marauders have taken over. Probably tracking mud all over the archives. I know that, but I got nobody else to turn to. Reed would have wrote me up. Constable would have locked me up and wrote me up. Could have gone to see the good vicar, but I never did.
Короче, все его хотят закрыть в лазарете. Потому что он больной.
You're making a mistake working for Abernathy. Excuse me. I'm Esther Blaine, Spacer's Choice Actuary. I overheard your talk with Abernathy. I hope you're not thinking about getting him that medicine. Abernathy is a well-known hypochondriac. Anthracillin is wasted on him. You're better off selling it to me instead. All I'm saying is Abernathy's worked in this town longer than some of us been alive. How do I put this gently? He's got a lot of cobwebs up in his attic. I probably shouldn't tell you. Don't want you implicated for what I'm trying to do.
Так, надо убеждение.
Alright, here's a summary. A lot of sick people in this town, and we don't have the medicine to treat them all. Can't reach out to corporate without crossing a river of red tape, so I'm reaching out to you. Something like that. Look, I'm not in the habit of law breaking, but sometimes you've got to do the wrong thing for the right reasons.
Да не, я бы сказал, наверное, Fallout все-таки. Киберпанк-то, я думаю, немножко по-другому, хотя и Киберпанк, кстати, надо пройти.
That's all I can ask of you.
They start asking, keep your distance, friend. Sick house is no place for a traveler.
Sick days come out of my pit.
I appreciate the company and all, but you really ought to leave. You don't want to be seen around me.
Почему?
Because I'm sick. You don't want to associate with people in the sick house. We're not worth your time. I'm in about as much trouble as I can be. No reason you ought to be tarnished by association. People are gonna talk. The walls talk, is all. We all got sights on each other. Any of us breaks company protocol, boss is gonna hear about it from 6 different mouths. Maybe you don't know this, but there's a real simple reason you don't talk to the plagued. You don't want what we've got. Don't. Please. I could get into a lot of trouble. That's kind of you to say, I suppose. But I don't need help. What I need is to understand my own folly. Company always tells us, weak spirits lead to weak bodies. If I didn't want to fall sick with plague, maybe I should have worked harder. Maybe I should have taken more pride in my work.
Чего 6? Я не понял, о чем 6?
I really wish you wouldn't say those sorts of things. I told you once already. People could be listening. I'm feeling a touch faint. If you don't mind, I'd like to be alone for a spell.
Move along.
Автоматон часовой. Ладно. Не знаю. 6 чего ж.
Another day at the cannery.
Читаю.
Don't go knocking your
Может, я выбрал тот вариант, который уже не подразумевает дальше диалоги. И все.
It's not the best choice, it's Spacer's choice. And before you ask, I'm all out of deluxe salt tuna. All I've got is gourmet. You ought to go have a talk with the boss, Reed Thompson. He's up in his tower above the cannery. Go right ahead.
Так, что думаешь об этом месте?
That's a peculiar question. This a test? Am I being tested right now? It's fine and dandy. Couldn't be happier. Wouldn't want to spend my life working anywhere else. Prettiest little town on Terra 2. You are condescending to me, and I do not care for it. I am lucky to have my work, lucky to be alive. I don't get paid for banter. Was there something you needed? Go right ahead. Other than yourself? Definitely the vicar. Don't get me wrong. He seems a decent man, cut from church cloth, knows his scriptures. But there's something about him that bothers me. Like he's not one of us. Sometimes I suspect
Я
he
тоже,
doesn't
наверное, не
even
хотел
want
бы
to
там
be here.
находиться.
Plague? I don't know anything about a plague. We are the very picture of hot-blooded physical vigor. You have got the wrong idea about me. I've got nothing that needs hiding. Some of us who get sick are liable to exaggerate the conditions of that sickness, but the fact is, if you work hard, you have got no cause to worry.
Так.
Survival of the fittest. It ain't just the law of nature, it's company policy. Medical treatment is commensurate with our value to society. Spacer's Choice will dispense medicine for the indispensable worker. Natural selection at work. Then the hand of medical science will not grace you with its touch, and you must recover on the virtue of your own grit. Listen, you mind if we talk about something else? Rambling about company policy gets me feeling all lightheaded.
Ну да, посмотрим, какие у тебя Бальзам на уши. Продолжить. Какой-то ударный молот. Атака 0. Странное видение. Привет, Глеб. Принят.
You think corporate's ever gonna visit?
I'm not holding out hope.
Carry on. Talking to the good vicar always lifts up my spirits.
Our place in the universe is fixed.
Hey there, Mary. Don't see you around here too often.
Oh, I just came to talk to the vicar is all. None of us are above confessionals.
What have you got?
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. Or Vicar Max if you're the sort who prefers brevity. I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling? This season's tossball predictions? The quickest way out of town? They who are not satisfied with their work are satisfied with nothing. No? How about, work fortifies the spirit. True exhaustion awaits
Пропаганда в
idle
стиле.
hands.
Если мало работаешь, то мало доволен собой.
Selling? No. It is free for all who seek it. I'm sorry you don't find these tried and true words of wisdom to your liking. What would you like to discuss? Not to put too fine a point on it, but your choice of wardrobe is not precisely common hereabouts. Also, you lack the distinctive worker gaze. Usually either a deadening behind the eyes, or in some rare cases, a wild-eyed frenzy, like a trapped animal. An ass? Who do you think... Please, excuse my ill temper. I fear you've misunderstood. I'm simply bemoaning the level of spiritual awareness in this town.
Так. Какая из тебя не
No, I
очень?
am not. Though there is something to your accusation. It is wrong for me to succumb to
В
distress.
отчаянии, мужик.
I must double my efforts to elevate my flock. These are good, hard-working people here. Mechanical tomfoolery is well out of my purview. I suggest you take such matters to Mr. Thompson in the cannery. Oh, and a word of warning. If you're considering wandering around outside the safety of the town, You'd best be cautious. Marauders are about. Though if you are planning on venturing outside, I do have a proposition that may interest you. One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down banned heretical texts. I happen to know such a book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library in Emerald Vale. However, the collector's residence lies outside the town's walls. My retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than me, I'd pay a handsome sum for the book. What? No, I don't want to burn it. I would never. I mean, I just want to... Look, I have a very simple goal here. I just want to keep the writing out of layman's hands. It wouldn't do for such information to fall into public consumption. It's a handwritten journal. A faded blue cover with the name M. Bakonu handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. Assuming you're serious? It is not only a beautiful relic of a bygone time, it's also the thoughts of an early thinker on the nature of man's place in the cosmos. Not many in this colony could understand its true value, should they ever read it. Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can always find me here. Any progress on that matter we discussed? Please get it. A religious text deemed heretical by the OSI is an unsafe object at large, though I understand why a collector would desire to possess such a rare book. Because I'm also a collector of books. Rare things in this colony. Appreciation of the written word outside monthly periodicals is virtually unknown here.
ДБД. Радует. Вроде не должно быть ДБД. Сейчас посмотрим. Да, кстати, почему-то ДБД. Странно. Как я читаю, что качество-то? Я вот захожу, мне видно все. Так, в общем, пойдем еще в бар зайдем, побеседуем. Телефона не видно. Ну, я что поделаю? Я не успеваю прочитывать. Достаточно быстро сменяются титры. Сам успеваю воспринимать. Так, ладно. Пойдем тогда в бар зайдем. Так, минута прошла. Так, где бар-то? А, вот буфет. Просто космос. Вот мне жаль, что они не локализировали ее. Ну, нет русского перевода.
Folk hadn't abandoned us. Cannery could use those extra hands.
Nothing we can do about that.
Never seen you here before. You a visitor? Welcome. On behalf of the space.
Добро пожаловать от лица всей семьи просто космоса. Я рад приветствовать тебя. А я вообще где? На веселе.
What? No, I'm Winslow. Lester Winslow. Says so right on my permanent record.
Такое ощущение, что он сам себя это забыл.
I am in no condition to do any work. Not so long as my injuries trouble me.
Какую травму получил?
Yep.
Рукавица застряла в роторе, все запястье, мясо, руку это мне Конрад зашил, но она все равно болит.
I couldn't do much about the pain. Boss was real generous to me though. Got myself a 5% discount
$0
on
на пиво с
zero G brew.
5% скидкой. После второй бутылочки будет остаться только душевная. Тебя к хирургу.
Hey, Conrad's a surgeon. Well, he's a barber. That's like surgery, but for your hair.
Он же парикмахер, та же хирургия, только на волосах.
I don't know you.
Естественно.
Amelia Kim, Spacer's Choice Beverage Dispenser. I don't know what you're about.
Барменша, в
This
общем.
here's a Spacer's Choice drinking establishment.
Все порядочно,
We're all loyal,
трудолюбивые.
hard-working company folk here.
Так. Прекрасное заведение.
You really think so? That's kind of you. I've been trying to keep the floors clean. You got no idea how long it takes to scrub the tiles. Guess I misreckoned you. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to be curt. We just got some problems lately. I can get you a drink if you'd like.
Налить.
Gotta ask you to enjoy your beverage within the premises, though. Can't risk you bringing a drink over to those deserters. You understand.
Что за дезертиры?
Traitors. The lot of them. Bunch of folks decided they were
Просто
tired of
предатели
working,
надоело
went
работать,
out
и они
into the
отправились
wilds
на
to
волю
fend
жить
for their own
свободной жизнью.
selves. Town's already struggling to make quotas, even without that band of slackwits abandoning their posts. Bunch of lazy, shiftless rung leeches. Anyway, enough about them. What can I do for you?
С Ридом
Do you
хочу
now?
поговорить.
And what makes you think Mr. Thompson wants to talk to you? He's a busy man. You want to talk to Mr. Thompson, try ignoring your duties. He'll summon you up to that great big tower atop the cannery, and you'll get yourself a proper dressing down. It is a good thing. If you're not pulling your weight, you don't deserve to live here. Simple as that. Go ahead.
Так, еще.
I don't see how that's any of your business.
Ладно.
You're the first to ask after me in some time. I'll give you that. But I don't have a story to share. My family's worked Spacer's Choice for 2 generations, and I've lived in Edgewater just about
Короче,
all
бармен
my
в
life.
третьем поколении, наверное.
Wanted to work in the sciences once upon a time. Would you believe it? That was a wild fancy. Glad I disabused myself. They did. They gave me a life, gave me a purpose. This is where I belong. What happened, you ask? What always happens when you're dreaming? I woke up. I just didn't have the brains for it. Asked too many questions. Wasn't suited to the work. So I did the right thing and worked the life I was always meant to live. Now that I'm behind a bar, I can ask all the questions I want. Important ones. Like, when are you gonna pay your tab? And would you like another round of cold, refreshing 0 G?
Так. Так, наука без вопросов. Наоборот, самый лучший ученый только делает, что задает вопрос.
Don't talk to me that way, please. Spent many years disabusing myself of that notion. Don't need you putting it back in my head. Lab work ain't for me. Never was. Never will be. Spacer's Choice put me where I belong.
Разрушили ее мечты и отправили просто работать барменом, а не ученым.
What's wrong with that? It's good, honest work. Pots and pans don't scrub themselves. Glasses don't fill themselves either. Unless you're in Byzantium. I hear everything's automated there. Not that I'll ever find out. Not so fast. I told you about my life. Your turn to tell me about yours. So, what's your story? That right? Prove it.
Ну давай.
I know that serial drama. They were playing it just the other night. What was it called? The Last Spacer? You're right. I don't believe you. I'd advise you to keep that story unsaid. Don't want people thinking you're a loon. Ugh, is this the start of a joke? If you want me to laugh at your jokes, it's a 3-drink minimum. Coming right up.
Что-то все очень дорогое какое-то.
Oh, I almost forgot. I'm contractually obligated to recite company slogans to any visitors. We'll get you mostly drunk at half the price. Spacer's choice. Go ahead.
Так.
The Hope? No, I've never mixed a drink by that name. I could get you a rum and something if you like. Wait, no, never mind. We're all out of something. I don't know what fancy bars you've been crawling, but the rest of us make do with 0G. 0G brew, an ale that's good for what ails you.
Гравочка, то, что доктор прописал.
Would you keep your voice down? You're gonna get the whole cantina written up.
Что-то они,
The
короче,
Hope's
все
folklore, all
скрывали.
right?
Как-то.
60, 70-year-old folklore by now. The board don't approve of spreading seditious rumors and falsehoods. You're inviting trouble talking that way, and I don't want a part of it.
Ты чего-то боишься.
Look, either shut your gob or stick a drink in it. We're done talking about this.
Здесь просто тупо второе, ну, одно крыло, а там с другой стороны еще одно крылышко. Ну и все.
Some hotheads running around town talking about boss calling shit.
Как от нее дал местечко. Ладно, ворвемся сюда.
Sorry, got a lot to do.
Торговый автомат. Так, оружие. Офигительные туалеты. Просто космос, я бы назвал. Ну вот он, а мне как раз и нужен регулятор мощности, да? Понятно, в этом можно стрелять.
Hey, I saw that!
Спалился. Ай-яй-яй.
You the new worker? Whatever. Make it quick, Tenderfoot. I'm busy. Foreman Granger, mind those words don't come out of your mouth unless preceded by yes or right away or thank you.
Понятно. Все с тобой понятно, дама. Общение. Эпидемия затронула каждого из нас. Личные дела. То.
The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix. The answer's technical.
Don't apologize. Just try using small words for me.
The cans bust open in the oven because she said to cook some tuna, which isn't what we've got. Mr. Thompson? I think there's someone here to see you.
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself. I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform. Yes, so it dawns on me. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process.
Так, поджариться.
Oh, yes. Saw someone put his hands on a regulator while the power was running. His legs were still twitching when we buried him. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way. You're the first stranger to wander into town in an age. Scripture tells us that nothing happens without reason. The geothermal plant was built by our owners, Spacer's Choice. Lit up the whole Vale once upon a time. Most of the Vale is now abandoned. All that power is going to waste. I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there. No, I do not imagine they will be pleased. But like a parent disciplining an unruly child, you will be doing them a kindness. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters. Former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home. Edgewater is struggling. We haven't hit our production quota in years. If we don't meet our quotas this year, the company might shut us down for good. I need those workers back at their stations. Neither do I. The fault was entirely mine. I pushed them too hard. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town. Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership. That is not a hypothetical I enjoy entertaining. We need Adelaide back. Nonetheless, I will settle for the return of her followers. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all perish separately. Adelaide will understand that.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like. Are you sure? I imagine Miss Holcomb will make a reliable companion. She knows her way around the Vale.
Ладно,
Great. I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
Ваш новый напарник.
Got my sights on you.
You some sort of freelancer?
If you could see your way to getting us our power back, I'd appreciate it. Go ahead. It is my job to keep 2 eyes on my town. I am the steward of this place, and this is my watch post.
Так, ладненько.
This is a Spacer's Choice town. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family here. The company keeps us warm, keeps us fed, keeps us working. Loyalty's got nothing to do with it, friend. This is good old-fashioned gratitude. I wish you wouldn't say things like that. Yes, as a matter of fact. When I stand at my window and look out over my town, here's what I see. I see decent, loyal, hard-working people. I see a family. We are all part of the Spacer's Choice family. We are all doing what we were brought into this world to do.
Так. Ладно.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk. We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk. Hey, mister, can we talk? Sorry. Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left. Life's hard here, especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper about. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is.
Так.
Books are for rich folk. I wonder what he wants with something like that. About if what Mr. Thompson proposes to do is upright. Leaving Miss McDevitt's folk to their fate. Their neighbors. Kin. And maybe he can think of something else to try. Something we ain't. He used to go walking outside town. Maybe he found something that'll help. It's just an idea. That's all.
Так, ну
Thanks,
ладно.
mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways. I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Any progress on that matter we discussed? Ah, Miss Holcomb. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
This here's Vicar DeSoto. He's always offering spiritual counsel to those that need it.
Thank you for the kind assessment, Miss Holcomb. I admit, I've been quite interested to make our outsider's acquaintance. Please get it. What would you like to discuss?
What? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do?
Так.
Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk.
Ясно,
They
понятно.
rejected the order of society and live beyond the walls so thoughtfully provided by our Spacer's Choice patrons. Does that strike you as a responsible life choice? Astute. But I am here, not in the deserter camp. So that's not a variable I can account for. Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold. Not if things are left to stand as they are. They who are not satisfied with their work are satisfied with nothing. No. How about, work fortifies the spirit. True exhaustion awaits idle hands. The OSI teaches that the Grand Architect set a perfect system in motion at the beginning of time. Contentment is found by accepting one's role in that grand plan. You don't talk to the Grand Architect. Once the universe was set in motion, it stepped back. It has no concern for us. Fun? It concerns much bigger things than fun. Things like deciphering the secrets of the universe to start. We will eventually decode the plan and all its intricacies. Once we are able to deduce the properties of every particle in the universe and its trajectory, we will know everything. The future, the past, each person's place within the plan, all will be laid out before us, removing struggle and bringing peace. No one will ever need question their path again. Some even believe this ultimate knowledge will unlock mankind's true potential, and we will all become akin to grand architects ourselves, after a fashion. The Order of Scientific Inquiry, also known as scientism to the layperson.
Ну-ка,
Mock me all you want. I know my beliefs to be true.
Yeah, huh? That's on account of how I never met her. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting the cannery computers. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born, I got sent here. Well, I don't know about normal. Dad said she worked under some kind of special contract. It's sensible. Dad just fixed machines. She did some kind of crazy math, high-level stuff. Better to raise me on his time than hers. You mean about the mission being too clean? I know, but Vicar says the universe is a machine, that it runs by law. Real machines have gunked up oil, scratches, and worn bits. You can tell they've seen handling, been used by folk. The machine Vicar sees is one ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in. It's something on a museum shelf, under glass. The Vicar's about the only soul in the Vale who spends his time thinking on what is and ain't right. It's just that when he looks at me, I feel I'd disappoint him. Something you need?
Any progress on that matter we discussed? Please get it.
Ну ладно.
When I was little, we'd get freighters in every Sunday moon. Now they only come but once a month. I love the wind here.
Как-то тихо.
Got my sights on you.
Так, в общем, нам зачем-то надо на кладбище. Так, по массе, чем по массе.
That was quick.
Где там шаришься-то? Репутация. Робсон. Что они какие-то агрессивные оказались. Мартышки эти. как-то спокойно. Здесь все заблокировано.
Huh? Gonna find you!
Get ready. Cut him off.
Так, давайте посмотрим. Урон 60. Тут урон 73. 250 нормально, прям так.
Nice. Incoming! That's the last of them.
Получается, иногда их можно вообще нарубить в труху. От них ничего не оставить.
Don't mess with us. Here we go.
Ну, тихоря будет там высвечиваться что-то. Чё ты орёшь-то постоянно?
Not a peep from me.
Да уж.
Clever.
Розенберга, Матримова, Кислопорт.
Yeah, huh?
Так, и насколько у меня перевес? На 4. Может, можно как-то разобрать что-нибудь? Непонятно. Ну не, можно. Гранатомета, пулемет. Все остальное разное. Ну вот теперь как бы хорошо всё. Интересно, как сюда попасть?
I've always wanted to poke around in here.
Так, ну лучше нам сначала что? Все-таки сходить.
Processing.
Incoming! We made it!
Halt. Performing an area.
Look out!
Lethality now reduced.
Понятно. Поэтому не пойдем пока туда.
Hey, that's impressive.
В принципе, ее могут нахлобучить как нифиг делать. Напарницу.
Move along, stranger. We don't want any trouble. I don't know you. Whatever you're looking for, it ain't here. Move along. Answers, huh? You must be one of those philosophicals. Already got ourselves one of those. Yeah, that's us. And you can tell Thompson we're doing just fine by ourselves. If you're gonna start wandering around my camp, know that I got my sights on you. Over in the hothouse, tending crop. Enough with the questions. No offense, but I've got a lot on my mind. You don't know what enough with the questions means? No, I'm sorry. That was unworthy of me. Lady named Zoe went missing some nights ago. Just up and vanished without a trace. Now I'm pacing around wondering if marauders got to her.
Я думал, что это она. Это он, оказывается.
It's not like Zoe to go wandering. Figured she might be out scavenging, but that ain't exactly her talent. Can't imagine where she's gone. Vale's a wide place. She could be anywhere. Could do without the gallows humor. I'll tell you what I can. Well, enough to know we never got on. Zoe and Stefan were close. If anybody knows the workings of her mind, he does. Could be. Dangers aplenty out there. No telling why marauders would steal somebody like Zoe. Got no useful skills far as I could tell. Vex me. If she told anybody, they ain't telling me. I'd check her room, but I got yelled at for snooping once already. Little ways ago,
She was always obsessing over her serial dramas. Wanted
Уже
to see what the
хотела.
fuss was about. What is it?
If you're hungry, Stefan's got supplies. What do you think you're doing? Watch out!
Понятно. Это было палевно.
Keep your wits about you, friend.
Keep your wits about you, friend.
Okay, keep him quiet.
Вроде без палева.
Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery.
Ладно.
Oh, didn't see you there. I was just occupying myself with a little engineering.
Потихоньку.
Whoa, Miss Parvati. Hey, you're, what, how are you? Hi. Hello.
Are you, are things safe out here? How are you keeping?
Great, just great. I've been trying to keep stuff running, just like you. Only I'm not so... Wait, they didn't kick you out, did they?
Oh gosh, no, I'm just along with this fella here.
Are you from town? I mean, you don't exactly look like you're from town. Never heard it phrased in such a way before. I guess we're all trying to get our ships off the ground, ain't we? Sorry, I just wasn't sure if you were from town or if you were one of us. Something's been chewing at me, you see. Fact is, I've been, well, lying. To everybody here. Camp thinks I'm a mechanical genius, but I couldn't fix a busted chair.
Так, ну давай.
I'll take all the help I can get. I set my mind to learning the craft of the engineer, you see. I want to make something of myself. You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering? Comes in a set of 3. If I had my hands on one of those data pads, I could teach myself
Так,
the
а я
ins and
что-то
outs.
находил, кстати.
Those are good. My dad kept a copy with him when he was working in the cannery.
I know the old community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in town. If you could find me even one of those pads,
Я
I'd be
находил,
greatly
кстати.
obliged. I wish I knew. I wager the town had the full set once upon a time. Where the third's gone, I can't say. No kidding! Really? Well, which one? Look at that! Building a computing machine out of Spectrum potatoes.
Спектр картофель.
I'm just glad it survived all these years.
Калькулятор
I
спектра
appreciate
картофеля.
you going through all that trouble. In fact, I put aside something special on the off chance that somebody'd search out those data pads for me.
300 битов дали.
Sure, I'd be glad to take them off your hands. What's on your mind? Couple months. This camp's my home. People you see milling about, they're my family. At least I think of them that way. I owe them my life. Would have died in the wilderness if they hadn't chanced upon me, starving and delirious. We all left the cannery for one reason or another. Me? I was let go, mostly on account of my incompetence. I mean, I was incompetent. I couldn't even survive on my own. Grace found me, Adelaide took me in, I've been on my feet ever since.
You weren't incompetent. You just didn't fit the cannery. Not like here. This place had a U-shaped hole, and now it doesn't.
You could stay, you know. Here. I'd be happy to... I mean, we could really use... oh, this isn't coming out right. If you want, Adelaide would make a place for you.
Высоко настроен непрерывно, но репутация пока еще не убита. Что-то там, короче, не успел прочитать. А чем это лучше? За эту 38, за эту 75. Может, она модифицированная? Да нет. Так, надо, короче, попытаться сейчас модифицировать. На электрический. О, может, лучше на пистоль тогда? Так, у него вот так урон просто. Так, он сколько зарядный этот пистолет? Непонятно. Энергетическая, наверное, да? Ну, давайте его починим.
Something you need? He's just interested in fixing stuff. He always used to follow me around, asking me to explain what I was doing. Like a puppy, kinda. He never told me a word to that effect. And since he didn't, I didn't have to say nothing about feeling different. And nothing had to get weird. If he wants to learn about engineering, we should help him get those data pads he wants. I'd like to do that for him. Where are we headed?
Any luck finding one of those manuals? What's on your mind?
Вроде здесь ничего нет. Как-то я не подумал, что это мины.
If you're hungry, Stefan's got some.
Keep your wits about you, buddy.
Как починить? Так, тут никого у нас.
If you're hungry, Steph.
You hungry? We got canid ribs, canid flank, canid snout too. Something I can help you with? You mean Zoe? Yeah, we were pretty close. Not like her to go loping off. Can't say I recall Zoe ever acting strange. Well, except for her habit of writing things down on scraps of paper. She called it journaling, but I think it's just plain odd. You sound like some type of corporate fixer asking all these questions. Zoe was always obsessed with this serial. Masked marketeer. A scion of Byzantium turns to banditry and teaches his marauder companions the wisdom of free market economics.
Да, наверное, просто комарадио.
Shame she up and vanished when she did. I had a surprise lined up for her. Zoe and I were gonna watch the serials, as is our custom. She never turned up. I looked around, but she was nowhere to be found. The other day, I got my hands on a genuine copy of the latest Masked Marketeer. I was gonna surprise Zoe with it, but she was gone the next day. Hey, I got time. I'll help if I can. Hey, I got time. Fresh off the limb, and that includes canid meat.
Keep your wits about you, friend. If you're hungry, Stefan's got supplies.
А, вот и записка Зои. Никаких больше спецодеждыш. Да, мам. Тут я не знаю, что записано. Мне окончательно звук. Тема преступления. С вами сильно должно как тебе обвинять в воровстве. Со стороны мародеров. Простота. Ну, короче, мародером решил стать.
Where are we headed?
К востоку отсюда. Бишь туда.
Where are we headed?
Почитали. Тут трупешник какой-то валяется.
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear? Suppose that weighs on who's asking. My flock likes to call me grandmother, on account of my providing hot soup and free advice. You can call me Adelaide, though.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned. No, dear. The garden belongs to us all. Life is the gift of the universe, and the universe yields its bounty equally, absent of prejudice. The soil around the Vale went sour years ago, but I found a way to sweeten it back up. The secret recipe is a little bit of elbow grease, a dash of love, and a heaping pile of special fertilizer. Reed Thompson? You here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then? Make amends. Spare me. Only thing Reed knows how to make is a mess. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves. He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans? Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip them out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious
Ага,
cannery.
типа реши давай за
It's the
всех.
sort of thing a hero
Или
would
туда,
do.
или туда.
You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. Hollowed out workers laboring their lives away at the cannery, living off whatever scraps Spacer's choice throws them. You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb? Your father died of overwork. His heart gave out.
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and he raised me all by his lonesome.
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the company, and still she defends them. Life in Edgewater grinds to a halt. The cannery shuts down, workers desert in droves, and our own little camp grows and thrives. You bring power to Reed's town and you'll be killing us. Reed knows it. He's counting on it. I trust you will listen to your conscience. Anything else I can do for you? I am getting old, you know. These two lamps of mine are not as bright as they once were. Or I might have seen you for what you are. My dear, we are all visitors in a momentary universe. Our lives flicker in and out like the guttering of a flame. Here now, then gone. Me and mine are just carrying on as best we can, trying to live our lives in a way that does not feel wasted. A little prattling never hurt anyone, dear. You might even catch a little sense, if you listen close enough. I can't stop you from conducting your business down at the plant. I just want you to know that if you take our power away, you will have brought an end to our way of life. Not under Reed's watch. He and I would come to blows within a day, and he would never tolerate my tending to a garden. This is my home. It will be my home even if Reed cuts our power. Simple as that. That's because Reed was my boss. I was the cannery's one and only flavor specialist, you see. Remember that limited run of white chocolate saltuna? That was all me. My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left. That's as much of the story as you need to hear. A fish rots from the head down. I do not blame the town. I blame the leader. I'm listening. That's not strange at all, dear. Few of us truly know where we are. The world can seem like a forest without end, and it is all too easy to lose one's way. But we must remember that being lost is the first step in discovering yourself. This is the old botanical lab in Emerald Vale, on Terra 2. By the look on your face, I'm guessing you're not quite following me. Are you not feeling well? Ought to lay your head down if you're running fever. Are you talking about an escape pod of some sort?
Да, ее сам.
Where did you say you were from? Is that a new settlement of some kind? I haven't kept news from outside the Vale. Oh, you're talking about that old piece of folklore. Now I'm convinced you're delirious. You really ought to lay your head down, dear. Babbling only agitates the humors. You ought to try some of my purgative tea. Won't cure what ails you, but it will distract you for a spell. Maybe I do. I don't know yet. Growing up, I heard my folks talking about the hope. Always believed it was just a story we told ourselves to keep our spirits up. Listen, don't you worry about what I think. That's not important. Worry about what the board thinks of you going around talking about lost ships from decades past. You carry on about coming here from another world, and people will talk. Talk leads to questions. Ask enough questions, and the board comes answering. No, but the board may have reason to fear you. I'm listening.
Where are we headed?
Так, ладно, давайте дальше. К востоку отсюда.
Yeah, huh?
Она молчит. К востоку отсюда. Это значит туда, наверное. Так, а Стефан это, по-моему, вот этот, который сидел, да? Торгаш.
Something I can help you with? Something I can help you with? I'll help if I can.
What is it?
Heads down. Here we go. We did it!
Даже зверюгу какую-то еще покупить. Приветствую, Никита. Так я сюжетку все прошел, там мелкие побочки остались. Ну, теперь, когда по новой буду перепроходить, ну, явно не в ближайшее время. Он по беспределу пошел валить. То есть я его подорвал, чтобы он туда рванул. Вау, больно.
whoever came out this far.
That had to hurt.
Чё-то немножко не попал.
Stand and deliver! Always wanted to say that. That had to hurt.
That's the last of them.
Блин, я думал, можно это как-то извлечь. Ну что, дамочка?
Wow, you crossed them all off, like some sort of heroic accountant running down a list. Teach me your
Герой
ways.
математика с решебником.
What? You mean Adelaide's little congregation of nature-loving nobodies? I could not possibly be less interested in them. You, on the other hand, you were a sight to behold. If I had half your skills, I'd be the greatest outlaw the coast has ever seen. I'm great at clarifying. I got kicked out of Edgewater on account of falling sick with plague and stealing some medicine to treat myself. I'd heard some outlaws set up camp in the botanical labs. I decided to throw in with them, seeing as I always wanted to be an outlaw myself. Instead, what do I find? But a bunch of former workers camped out around a greenhouse. I couldn't just go back to the cannery, so I was stuck with them.
Так.
I don't know. The vital processes that constitute the miracle of life are mysterious and unknowable. Oh, you mean around these guys? The Marauders wouldn't hurt me. They love me. I'm practically their queen. Yeah, it must be my natural charisma.
Mm.
I may have bartered them a few boxes of Adrena time, but yeah, I'm sure that's got nothing to do with it. No. I insinuated myself into their company, see? And they didn't seem to mind one whit. I've got all the time in Halcyon. Why? Adelaide wants me back on garden duty or something? Thanks, but I'm not going anywhere. This is where I belong. I doubt that. Nobody in that camp really cared about me. Yeah, I suppose you're right. Also, he could carry on a conversation, unlike these hooligans. I'll take my stuff and head on back, I suppose. Grace is gonna be glaring knives at me, so I've got that to look forward to.
Ладненько, ребят, на сегодня завершим стрим. Продолжим уже завтра, утром также. Эту игру проходить. В общем, всех благодарю, кто смотрел, кто, возможно, подписался. Модераторов за работу. Увидимся завтра. Всем удачи, всем всего хорошего, всем